Wow, I feel so happy to be here. Thank you so much for waking up early and honor me with your presence. What an inspiring World Happiness Summit this has been. Incredible presenters and so many tools we have been learning from everybody. And today, I'm going to give that one tool that is available to all of us. And that is the power of the breath. We all know that breathing is important, very important. But who sees life that way? We never stop to think about the breath because it's a 24/7 unconscious act. And yet, the way we draw the breath is a very important, essential fact on determining our health, physical, mental, and emotionally. It can affect so much from digestion, to better digestion, to better sleep, to even better sex. Yeah, and we don't think about that because we don't have to think about it. But you know what? We do. Because when we shift our breath, our life changes. Breathing is a skill. I'm not talking about the breathing everybody's taking right now. Everybody's breathing, I know. But the breath I'm talking about now is the conscious breath. It's the skill. Because there's something very, very important about the breath that breathing is an organic function, right? It's the only organic function that we can control 100% consciously. There must be a reason. It's the only one. We cannot control the heart, the liver, the pancreas, but we can control the breath 100% consciously. This is me. That's me at the Bahamas, holding my breath. I traveled to different parts of the world. I had the opportunity to teach yoga techniques for breath hold divers, professional breath hold divers. I traveled to Japan, Europe, different places in the world to train free divers, those that we go into the ocean without scuba gear. And we had to spend many, many hours developing the skills on how to breathe. It wasn't just a matter of, I'm just going to hold my breath and see how long I can go down there. We actually work on ancient breathing techniques to be able not only to hold the breath for a longer time, but also to lower the pulse rate in order to consume less oxygen when we're underwater. So it is a skill, and this is what I'm inviting you today, to develop the skill of conscious breathing. And as I look around, I see people going, and we're going to talk about that now, because I want to teach you how to breathe correctly. So, let me see this. There you go. Ancient yogis and ancient disciplines use the power of the breath in order to, as a foundation of meditation, mindfulness, and many spiritual disciplines. Because also yogis, I'm talking about yogis because I'm a yogi, yogis knew the power that controlling the breath would be the way to control the mind and the body. Nowadays, thanks to the advancement of science, now we can prove it, so modern research and science agree. We now know that there are countless and countless of research. There is no time to go over who did it and when they did it. But there are countless of research that prove that the proper breathing affects our stress. We can reduce stress through proper breathing, reduce heart rate, blood pressure, improve circulation, the hormone secretion, and so on and so forth. But my most amazing thing is to understand how the breath works, and then I will take you on what to do. So the important thing is how are we breathing right now? According to experts, we take only 10 to 20% of our total lung capacity. That means 80% in base case scenarios, it's unused in our lungs. And that is because we take only half a liter in one breath. So we take a breath, only half a liter. I know half a liter seems a lot, but it is not, because our capacity is 5 liters. We have the capacity to take in one breath an average of 5 liters. Can you imagine? And we're not using that. And that is because we're in the stress mode breathing capacity. So we're taking between 15 to 20 breaths per minute. That means it's shallow, it's fast, it's short. Eventually, we want to increase that through the power of the breath and the consciousness of the breath to take about 6 to 8 breaths. I like to take about 4 breaths per minute, and the goal of a yogi is to take 1 breath per minute. So, why is breathing so important? Is it like counting sheep? Oh, I was doing my breathings and I was relaxing. No. There is a scientific explanation why breathing works. And that's the part that I really, really love. Breathing correctly, not just breathing, but breathing correctly is the path to self-healing, because it takes us back to the foundation of how our nervous system works, the autonomic nervous system. Stress affects directly, triggers what we call the fight or flight response, which is the sympathetic aspect of our nervous system. What happens when we are threatened? Immediately our autonomic means automatic. Automatically, our nervous system responds. So we dilate our pupils, we close digestion, the blood circulation goes to our limbs in order to fight, to fly, or to freeze, because we're threatened. Way back when our ancestors did that, and running away from the tiger, that's great, because when the tiger is gone, we can go back to the parasympathetic system, which is the relaxation response, rest, digest, and heal. So there was a balance. In other words, it's like putting the foot on the gas, sympathetic system, and then putting the foot on the brake. Now, what happens to the body when the foot is on the gas all the time? We burned out. And that's what's happening today. Depending on how we breathe, we affect what part of the nervous system we are triggering. When we breathe in through the nose and down into the abdomen, we trigger the parasympathetic system automatically, regardless of what's going on in our lives. And that's why I want to bring it to you. So no matter what goes on in your life, if you're stressed, if you're rushed, if you're meeting deadlines and you're going through losses and challenges in your life, even anything that happens around, when you breathe into the lower abdomen, you stimulate the parasympathetic system, and your body understands, okay, everything must be good out there because I'm receiving the message. So even the mind is thinking about something. If you're breathing down into the abdomen, you're going to be able to digest. Kala was talking about constipation like a couple of days ago. And yes, it is, we are constipated because we're stressed out. Remember, when the sympathetic system is working, we're on alert and we block the digestion. There is no digestion when we're under stress. So we need to go through other systems. So like I said, there are millions of research on why the breath works and the importance of oxygen in taking in our bodies for our whole well-being. But my best and most, especially because I did cancer research at Jackson Memorial, my most incredible guy is Otto Warburg. In 1931, he discovered in his research on cell biology and oncology that only oxygen-deprived cells can reproduce, mutate, and become cancerous. In other words, when there is no oxygen, in the body, not enough oxygen, just short and shallow, then the cancer cells can become happy. In his research also, he proved that cancer cells cannot survive in an environment that is high in oxygen levels. Isn't that amazing? I think that in itself proves the importance of deep conscious breathing. Not just natural breathing, but the importance to develop the skill of healthy breathing. So let's go right into the how to breathe. So I'm going to give you 3 pointers. The first pointer is breathe into the abdomen. And I have a guy laying down here. See, the abdomen goes up as you breathe in, and the abdomen goes down. But most of the time, we spend the days sitting down or walking or standing. So I'm going to, instead of just saying raising and falling of the abdomen, I'm going to give you another way to look at the breath. I want you to imagine that you put the air in an elevator in your nose, and you bring the elevator down to the basement. So it's not out or in, but down to the basement. And we're going to go into the exercise in a little bit. That's the first pointer. The abdomen needs to be the one who receives the breath. Why? Because again, we talk about the parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system. When you breathe into the chest, automatically you tense the mind. Immediately you're triggering the nerve fibers that are connected to the sympathetic aspect of the nervous system. So your body's saying, alert, 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 alert. And we want to stop that. We're going to bring the breath down so the body says, oh, okay, you can heal, you can have fun, you can digest. Everything is cool out there. The second pointer, breathing in and out the nose. So this is going to bring me into most of the time when we say, take a deep breath. People go, all wrong. It has to be in through the nose, down into the abdomen, so the chest is not working. Remember, chest breathing brings an instant anxiety. And in and out the nose, not the mouth. The mouth breathing is only for the emergency. Because breathing is so important, the Creator has given us many outlets. 2 nostrils, 1 mouth, but the mouth is not designed for breathing. It's just for an emergency. A lot of things happens when we exhale through the nose. First of all, and most important, when we exhale, that's when we take most of the oxygen, extract most of the oxygen out of the air that we breathe in. So when we exhale slowly through the nose, the body has the ability to capture the oxygen's molecules, so we intake more oxygen into the system. So it has to be through the nose. Because the mouth breathing, exhaling through the mouth, it goes fast. Nose breathing, because it's small and it has a lot of hairs, a lot of particles, it's designed to slow down the exhale so we can absorb more oxygen. There are many other reasons, but there is no time. So, the third point I'm going to give you is elongate the exhale. Again, when we elongate the exhale, we trigger the fibers of the parasympathetic system, telling again the body to relax. And we're here to learn about happiness, the science of happiness. This is the basics of the science of happiness. If we're stressed, how can we be happy? And all of us are stressed every day, no matter what you do, no matter how calm you want to be. Even if you're leading a life of Zen, if you have loved ones around, you're still worried about your loved ones. And about the world, if you care, which I know all of us do. So stress is part of our lives. And we need to make it a point to lower the stress, because stress is cumulative. Stress, science has proven, is like cholesterol. Not because one day you eat cheesecake, you're going to have high cholesterol, but if every day you eat cheesecake and fried foods and fat foods, then at the end of a few months, your cholesterol level is going to go up. The same happens with stress. It accumulates. And that's why we develop anxiety. We're living now epidemic of anxiety, stress, depression. As a life coach and yoga instructor, I deal with the people every day. So what we need to do is to slow down, and when we exhale, we slow down the heart rate. The ratio of the inhale to exhale is 1 to 2. So if we inhale on the counts of 1, we want to make sure that we exhale on the counts of 2. That's ideal situation. So let's go into the practice. Let's put it all together. So number 1 is abdominal breathing. Number 2, in and out the nose. And number 3, elongate the exhale. So make the exhale a little bit longer. So let's go into the practice. You want to go to the practice? Yes. Okay, let's do it. So please stay right there and keep your eyes open. This is something that I want you to be able to do in the car as you're driving, at a cocktail party, anywhere you can do this breath. You don't have to close your eyes. You don't have to put time aside or turn off the phones or anything. So place your left hand on top of your chest. Your left hand is going to be monitoring that your chest does not move. That is guarding the chest. And the right hand on the lower abdomen, not on top of the navel, but on the lower abdomen. Now, the lower hand is going to make sure that you receive the inhale and you release the exhale. I'm going to guide you. Everybody exhale on the counts of 5. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now take a slow inhale through the nose. Bring it down into the elevator, down to the basement. Your right hand wants to be receiving the inhale. And now let the air go back into the elevator and go up and out the nose. Nice. Continue. And again, at your own pace, In through the nose. Imagine the air is going down to your elevator, down to the basement. And then go up. Whenever you're ready to exhale, elongate the exhale. See if you can take the exhale a little bit longer. And then again, one after another. At this very moment, you are stimulating the parasympathetic system. Continue. Make sure your left hand is monitoring your chest, not moving. I know it's hard at the beginning. The chest should not move at all. The breath goes down. Anybody having difficulties? Yes, tell me. Yes, thank you. Thank you for sharing. I'm sure she's saying that she's feeling a slight movement of the chest. Yes, that's natural at the beginning. That's why we put the hand, to develop the awareness, because that's the way we breathe. That is the stress mode setting, that the default setting that we have. We have the central nervous system in the stress mode setting. And that's why we want to bring the awareness and modify it. So keep your left hand there, and then keep insisting on bringing the breath again. Imagine you bringing the air into the elevator and bring it all the way down. And see if you can experience the right hand receiving the inhale and then releasing the exhale. It takes practice. It's a skill, like I said at the beginning. This is not natural breath. It is a skill that we want to engage in and commit to ourselves to do every day. And you can do it at night to fall asleep, in the middle of the night when you wake up. So many times we wake up in the middle of the night, our minds are racing. So do not worry about not thinking about whatever you're thinking, but instead focus on your breath. Bring it over and over again. It's a skill that needs to develop. It needs practice. It is not like a pill, but it's so much better than the pill. Yes? Because the medical system can cope with stress-related conditions for a short term with prescribed medication. But with the breath, you trigger at the core to a long term without any cause, any adverse effects, and any other investment than just bringing your awareness. I do my breathings even when I brush my teeth. I do my conscious breathing as I'm talking to you. I do my conscious breathing as I'm walking to my car, as I'm driving. I do my breathings all the time. And I feel very healthy, thank God. I feel very healthy, but I attribute it not to my genes or to anything else, but my practice. So I invite you to incorporate this as a very important tool to your practice. As much as we develop time to meditate or to exercise or to look at the food that we all look at the quality of food that we eat, and yet we don't look at the quality of the breath that we take. We can store the vitamins and food in the form of fat for days, but we cannot store oxygen for more than a few minutes. Do we think about that? Right? Oxygen is the most essential nutrient that the body needs to survive. We never bring it to our consciousness. And that's why I want to, because we're not actually educated with that. And I want to bring a little bit of awareness into this short talk on the importance of how the breath needs to be every day. As you count your breath, you want to, for example, if you exhale, first empty the lungs. Why? The more you empty your lungs, the more space you have for the next inhale. It only makes sense. If you want to fill up a container with fresh water, first you want to empty it, and then you bring it in, right? So that's exactly what we want to do. First, empty your lungs. When you take a deep breath, first empty your lungs, and then take a slow inhale. And I want to know if we got it. So what are the 3 points, please? Somebody, what's the first point? Empty your lungs. Excellent. Then, this is not a tricky question. I'm sorry? In through the nose, after. But the first one is abdominal breathing. Second, and third. Thank you very much, guys. Take it home. I really appreciate it.